Hi there. I'm back with another sorry, audio. And this time I wanted to talk about consistency as someone who is not best at it. Like, I still struggle with being consistent in general, but I have had periods of super good consistency, and I'm trying to bring it all together in the sense that what worked during those periods and how I can replicate that, and also kind of give my take on karm karo but fal ki chinta na karo because it is quite interrelated. So the problem with consistency is when you are introduced to something new and you do it for the first time, पहले दिन तो हो जाता है क्योंकि you are so excited about it and you want to make things happen, change your life and do something revolutionary. That first day तो तुम फोड़ ही दोगे एकदम and then you'll think कि yeah, this is going to mark like the biggest change in my life. This will be my year. And then literally the second or the third or the same week, third day or the same week, you'll realize that I'm not in that habit anymore. And it genuinely requires a lot of, what do I call it? Conscious attention and willpower. You need a lot of willpower in the start if you're doing something that you're not used to, which is why I suggest picking up things that even if you're not used to it, you like the idea of doing it and you enjoy the process of doing it. You need to find a way to make consistency an easy thing. It shouldn't be a burden on you. And wow, I just spaced out for a moment because my mind just went blank and I felt like, okay, am I just repeating things that are already out there and this is not going to add any value? And my mind started poking me once again. And I'm so sorry to divert and go off topic, but I just want you to know that this itself is like a challenge to me, but one that I want to get better at. I want to learn from and not be too hard on myself. So I'm not going to cut all of these parts. I know all of us go through feelings, thoughts, and emotions like these on a daily basis. And I just want to normalize these things as much as possible because perfection is not what I'm aiming at with this whole thing. I'm aiming at being as human as possible and navigating my way through that. And through those moments of just being a normal person like you, I want to show you how it's possible to get better and go ahead. So, yeah, with consistency, the one thing that I have observed is it becomes easier when you're having fun doing what you. It's literally just fun. And I know there are ways to make boring things fun, and I've tried that. It hasn't worked for me, but if I can do something that is inherently fun in my case and unique to me, it's easier for me to keep doing it over and over again. So, fun is a major part of not just building new habits, but life in general. And that is where we kind of lose ourselves. Because if you're not having fun every single day while doing this particular thing, even if it's for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, how are you going to push your brain to come back at it again and again and again? So, yeah, when I even look at the quote, karm karo, but phal ki chinta na karo, the only way I can do that and make justice to that is when the process has been taken care of, and I derive so much of joy out of the act itself that I forget about the result. The only way to forget about it is feeling like what you feel at the end, what you feel after having that result, you're already feeling it. Like the result is just a bonus. वो जब आएगा तब आएगा, but that is a bonus. That is not the reason why I'm doing something. The reason why I'm doing something, that it is making my present better. It is making the time that I'm putting right now better. It is making my life a lot more beautiful than it was previously. And those reasons keep adding up, and are the reasons why I will continue doing, not because I have this thing in my mind that I need to achieve. And I know it is quite difficult, especially when we have all sorts of labels and goals to achieve in life. But the only way I have been able to figure this whole thing out and make peace with it is by doing something that's fun for me. I cannot compromise on that. And I know if I don't find that factor in the act that I'm doing, it's going to fall apart at some point. And yeah, it will take a lot out of me to get back again. Another good thing to add up with this is having an accountability partner. It is genuinely a game changer. The only issue with that is not everyone has the same values or the same intensity with which you can do something together. Like by accountability partner, I mean doing things together and constantly being in company of someone who is also like on a similar path. And whenever you feel down, whenever you feel like you don't have any hopes with wherever you're going, you can see someone who is in a similar position and walk along with them. And yeah, since that is not possible all the time, like availability can be an issue, showing up every day can be an issue. So even that falls apart at times, but it is quite helpful if you can find someone like that. I also want to add a bit about the law of karma while we're talking about all of this to give you some relief that whatever you put out in the world or whatever you do, any action that you take is bound to come back to you, good or bad. I don't know at what time that happens, yeah, but your effort will never go to waste. It will show up in your life in some or the other way. So you don't have to worry about the results per se, because the way universe works and the laws that are in place, you don't have to worry about it. You will find the efforts that you've put in coming back to you. at some point or the other. So it's not like everything is going to go in the way if you're kind of the person who does have that nagging voice behind your head that, oh, am I wasting my time with all of this? And will I ever get anything out of what I do? But you don't have to worry about it as long as you're taking action. It is important to take action beyond anything. If you don't take action in the first place, there is not going to be any result whatsoever. But at least if you do something, you know for sure this is going to pay back. So, yeah, keep bringing yourself into that zone of action instead of thinking of when will this turn out into something bigger. And I know it is easier said than done, but at some point you need to be detached with the results. And once you learn that, it will become a second nature to you. I'd also like to add this thing that Osho once said has been stuck with me since forever. And I might not be able to do justice to the level of articulation and the way he delivers complex matters in such a simple manner, but I'll still try. I'll try to put it out. So he mentions that we want to make our habits like anything that we start, and when we are in that beginner phase, the one thing we need to do is convert it into an unconscious habit. So even when you're not thinking about it and you don't need any willpower, you will end up doing the thing because now your brain has registered it fully and it has become an unconscious habit. But in the start, your brain is not equipped enough to understand if the thing that you're doing is important, is necessary for you. Since it is not a part of your usual behavior, it tries to find reasons to not do it in the first place. So it'll keep telling you, no, you're tired today, you should sleep. No, you like doing this. Why do you want to go into this direction? And the real power is to not listen to your mind and still do the thing, only till the point that it becomes unconscious and you don't have to think about it. And now it has become a part of who you are and your behavior and your being. There's, of course, a lot more to this that I haven't been able to cover up, but I'll try to link it somewhere if I find that particular text because it's genuinely mind blowing. I couldn't do justice to the way it was explained. But yeah, I think that will help in at least making sense of the process and not giving up midway. So yeah, I'll try to link it somewhere. All right. I think like that's it for today. I know this one had a lot of deviating things and I went blank. Like this audio will be edited out and you might not be able to hear the pauses and all, but still you might feel like, okay, this person is getting lost in between and there's no flow and structure. I know I keep mentioning it. I'm so sorry, but this one is by far the most, the one episode that I consider I did not do well. And even then, I am gonna post it because I want to, and I don't want my mind to constantly nitpick what I do. And only when I become used to all of this, when it becomes an unconscious habit, I look back and feel it was okay. It wasn't as bad. And the purpose of being as raw, as natural as possible was fulfilled. So I'll keep it for that reason. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.